Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Plenty of excitement in the world of crypto today, led by Bitcoin, which hit not far off, a few $100s off from $68,000 today. Ended up closing the daily at above $67,000, which you'll love to see. XRP coming along for the ride, just in the general sense that it moving in tandem with the rest of the market. But I'm telling you, there is no other coin positioned like XRP in the entire world of crypto. There is only one that has been sitting here consolidating for as long as it has been. It's wound up tight, and this thing's going to blow, and it seems very obviously, increasingly getting more signs, this market's not done. It's going to keep moving to the upside in tandem with the stock market, and we're going to see a blow off top. Now, of course, none of that's guaranteed, but based on historic precedent and all sorts of stuff that we've been talking about here on the channel and broadly speaking in the XRP community, yeah, I do believe that is what is most probable. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 7:20 p.m. Central Time, which is my time zone here in the good old Midwest of the United States. XRP a little above 54 cents. Bitcoin currently at $66,978. Not surprisingly, since we've had a lot of green today, Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 73 out of 100. So yes, we're safely back in greed. Bitcoin getting as high as $67,639. More on Bitcoin in just a second here, because there's been a bit of a dispute as to what happens next. Are we actually going to see a continuation to the upside, or are things going to break down before we finally see Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, which we've been waiting over half a freaking year for? I mean, I'm glad I hit it earlier this year. Remember the excitement back in, February and March. Cool, fun to live through that. But I think that the market's getting a bit impatient. But of course, we have never seen is an alt season without small cap stocks also taking off, specifically the Russell 2000, which is an index tracking small caps. And so there's this post shared by Seth Golden, who is a hedge fund consultant, chief market strategist at Fenham Group. And he wrote, "Boom, that just happened. Last Friday, small caps had significant outperformance relative to large and mid caps. Just about a 90% up day for Russell 2000 on Friday. Not usually something you see at the top of a move, but something that speaks to additional upside ahead." And so I've shared a number of his posts recently, and he's just drawing upon historic precedent to say, okay, and he was acknowledged, it's not like definitively so-and-so is going to happen, but based on historically what has unfolded, finding certain similarities here, historically, if history kind of rhymes with itself, yes, there's going to be much greater upside. This party is not over, and he's been just consistently, literally on a daily basis, so much incredible, just raw data for people to look at. So I started following him in recent months, and I've been sharing a number of things from him, just like a fountain of useful information here. And so I'm happy to share it on my channel. But yes, I find his arguments, broadly speaking, to be compelling because it's data. It's just data. So if this is going to happen, yeah, we're going to see much, much more to the upside for the entire crypto asset class, certainly including XRP. There's a post by the blockchain backer. It's a Bitcoin USD chart, but also showing the Russell 2000. That's in this pinkish or purplish color. Looks pink to me. Under Bitcoin. And he wrote, "The Russell climb continues along with Bitcoin." And he posted that just this morning. Well, certainly does move in tandem. So what about Bitcoin, though? Well, I've been saying over the last, several days or so, that all of the analysts that I follow say Bitcoin's going to be ripping to the upside. We're not going to see Bitcoin back into the 40,000s or anything like that this market cycle, not until you're back in bear territory, and then that's a whole different debate. Credible Crypto, however, has been arguing, not that it will happen, but he does think there's a really good chance that Bitcoin could end up into the mid to upper 40,000s. He's the only one that has been saying this, though, until today, actually. And there are a couple more analysts that I follow that I notice have just flipped, and they actually think that this is something that, doesn't mean it's going to happen, but actually could. And so I wanted to mention that. It's just interesting. Credible Crypto, as far as I'm concerned, I'd say this. I think he's the best short-term chart analyst that I follow for short-term price action. I think he's one of the best just in general, too. So that's why, even though his position has been an outlier, I've been reporting because I'm just like, well, he's got such an incredible hit rate. Yeah, I gotta share with you what he's saying, even though every other analyst under the sun is like, no, that's not happening. But we saw a bit of a flip today, so just a little bit. So check this out. Not from Credible Crypto. So this morning, 9:41 a.m. Central, he said, "This is it, moment of truth. That last spike up was the blue path idea shared here days ago." And I'll just pause to note what he's referencing here is this idea that you could see Bitcoin get up here even closer to $68,000 or so, but then you'd see a rather quick drop into the mid to upper 40,000s. So that's an idea that he started sharing many days ago, and I've highlighted that on my channel. So then he says, that last spike up was the blue path idea shared here days ago. Decent reaction so far, let's see how things develop. And then a little time passed, so 10:07 a.m. this morning, and he simply wrote, dump it all. And by the way, the aggression towards Credible Crypto just for saying his open, honest opinion, like, there are words that I simply will not use on this channel. Okay, I'm just not going to do it. For all you parents there that got your children's in the background, no worry, I got you covered, girl. I'm just saying, though, there's some stuff here I just can't say. I'm like, my God, he's just sharing his open, honest opinion. That's it. And he's not even saying for sure it's going to happen. He's just saying, hey, look, there's a certain probability that we actually are going to see this. And we've seen dumps like this, a lot of them, over the last half a year. It's not that crazy. Well, take a look at this. So here's a post from chart analyst Blunts. And, yesterday, he was even talking, like literally yesterday, he was like, yep, looks like this is it. Bitcoin's going to be breaking out. Bring it to 100K, stuff like that. He has flipped. Check this out. And he's a very popular analyst for a good reason, 283,000 followers on X. And he wrote, nice little pop higher on Bitcoin overnight, but it looks like this recent leg might have 5 waves up in it with a potential 4-hour bearish divergence brewing. Wouldn't be surprised to see another pullback here throughout the week before the real breakout attempt next week. Looking like everyone got a little too bulled up this last 24 hours, including myself, so another higher low flush could be on the table. Okay, so he's not explicitly calling for 40,000s, but I just thought I'd note it's another reputable analyst that I follow who's saying, actually, maybe we got a little ahead of ourselves. You could see another dip, so just don't be surprised if that happens. It's not a time to freak out. But hey, being in these markets, it does require patience. That's the bottom line. And then as far as what would invalidate various perspectives, I don't want to read this whole post. If you want to pause and read Credible Crypto's post, it's on your screen right now, but I'll just note a key takeaway here is that, if you see a break above $70,000 for Bitcoin, that would invalidate his idea that Bitcoin could go into the 40,000s. And on the flip side, if you break below $58,000, like, expect the crash to be much lower than that, like into the 40,000s. That's just a key takeaway from this. There's also posts from chart analyst Dom. Bitcoin short term, these wicks are scary. He says, not something you usually see at continuation points. Just preparing for lower sweeps. Invalidated with price regaining $66,600 as support. And that's what he posted this morning, just warning, hey, actually, we could see some lower sweeps even into the lower 60,000. So I'm seeing more of this. I wasn't seeing stuff like this from pretty much anybody over the last couple of days, yet here we are on a day where clearly the market is feeling pretty excited, and I understand why. We also had this from chart analyst Dark Defender. He wrote, this is what 8 years of consolidation looks like in a nutshell. We are standing just at the beginning of a new era. And so before recording this, I asked him, I was like, I think you mean 7 years, not 8. And so I think I know what he's getting at here. So if you're looking at the screen here, you can see the 8-year period he's talking about is from the beginning of 2017 through technically the end of 2024, but we haven't finished 2024 yet. So, I mean, the breakout could happen tomorrow, and then it's less than 8 years. So I was just kind of curious, and I'm assuming that he just wrote it like that purely because what he's showing on here are 12-month candles, aka 1-year candles. So that's why he wrote it the way that he did. But of course, it doesn't mean it would literally be 8 years. And technically, when the breakout happened for XRP in 2017, I'm pulling from memory, but wasn't it April? Maybe it was March or April of 2017. So we're certainly not at 8 years yet, but I get the point that he's making. He's just saying, hey, this thing has been consolidating forever, and I'm sure that he feels the same way. It can't and won't stay here forever. This thing is absolutely going to go. And so he's noting that these key levels here, because this is XRP price against the dollar, on the lower end 39 cents, on the upper end 66 cents. Look, it's going to go one way or the other. It's going to break to the upside or the downside. I'm betting to the upside. There's also this post from analyst called Random Crypto Pal, and he was written about in the Crypto Basic. Analyst says XRP Explosion is coming after breaking this level. And he's just drawing upon data from the past to say, hey, if so-and-so happens again, it's going to get completely crazy here. And so he wrote, once XRP breaks above 0.236 fib, the 2017 XRP explosion is coming. Only pure facts. Well, yeah, and so if history kind of rhymes with itself, it's true for you looking at the screen here. You can see in 2017, when it broke that particular, okay, fine. And it did take off. That was the first major leg up for that market cycle, 2017. Then it moved sideways for another half year, and then we had that final blow off top. So, look, XRP, it has never been so wound so tight in history. There's never been a coin that has consolidated like this in the history, for this long, in the history of this asset class. If you can think of an example that I'm just unaware of, please tell me. I've never seen one before, and I've been asking publicly, and I haven't seen anybody throw out another example of, hey, this one's done it too. If there is, I'll be happy to talk about that as well. But I don't think that's the case. I haven't seen anything like that. It's just such a rare thing, and to know that XRP has been consolidating this long, and to understand we're in a bull market, and looking at various metrics and how things have unfolded in the past. I don't know how you couldn't be ultra bullish for XRP right now. I'm excited for it. It's just gotta wait a little bit longer, but we are so close. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.